Okay, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to this How to Use Facebook to Grow Your On Purpose Business webinar. I am so delighted to see people I haven't seen for years, people who I've just gotten to know over the last week in the Facebook Networking Challenge, and others of you who have been in my circle for the last year or so. So let me just share with you that I am Kathryn Yarborough, and you may want to get paper and pen because I often teach things and I do have stuff that I'm teaching here and that you might want to write down. And the main thing that I'm couching everything in today, like circling around, is the question of why do you want to attract clients from Facebook? I don't want you to answer that yet. You're going to get a chance at the end to answer that in the group if you're willing. But I'm going to share everything that I'm saying pretty much around why do you want to attract clients from Facebook? Because to actually attract clients from Facebook takes time, energy, effort, work. Nod or write yes in the chat if you get that it's going to take a little bit of effort on your part. Yeah? Okay, so I'm getting some nods, getting a yes. Okay. If you are ambivalent about it, not sure, wishy-washy, then you may spend time on Facebook and not really, not really. Okay, so we've got, we've got someone who isn't muted. So Shelly, if you can check to figure out who that is and make sure you mute her, that would be fantastic. Okay, and if you hear noise other than me, that would be great. I appreciate that. And everybody, if y'all can do your best to mute yourself, that'd be awesome. Okay, but my point being is that if you're clear that you really want to attract clients from Facebook, then taking the actions becomes a lot easier. If you're ambivalent, you could waste a lot of time. And if you leave here and you decide, well, you know what, I don't want to, that's fine too. So either I want you to leave here either clear you definitely want to, clear you want to commit for 3 months to really giving it a go and seeing what happens, or clear you don't want to. Are we in agreement that that's a good plan for our time together as an outcome? Is that sort of okay? I see a bit. Oh, thank you. I love nods or yeses in the chat or anything else that you want to say in the chat or with your facial expressions, because I can see a few of you. All right. So here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to share with you why I want to attract clients on Facebook by telling you about why or how the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program was birthed. And then I'm going to share with you a Facebook marketing funnel that is a cookie cutter approach. I don't believe in cookie cutter approaches. However, I'm going to give you a cookie cutter approach because it's simple and it makes sense and it will likely work for over 50% of the people in the room. If you decided to work with me, if you're not already, if you decided to do the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program, I'm going to talk with you about your business, about your clients, about you, and figure out what is the best approach for you to attract clients on Facebook. But this that I'm going to share with you, this Facebook marketing funnel, is a really good way to understand a potential way, an easy approach to attracting clients from Facebook. The third thing we're going to do is I'm going to take you on a short guided journey so you can imagine having a great Facebook group where you attract clients from. And that's going to be fun, I hope, for you. I'm going to share with you the 3 ingredients or skills that I believe we all need to develop in order to work this Facebook funnel that I'm going to share with you. And then I'm going to take a few minutes. Hopefully, I have your permission at that time to tell you about the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program that's starting on March 8th. And then at the end, you're going to all get a chance to introduce yourselves if you want to. And then I'll stay for as many questions as we have, either about what I'm sharing here, about the Facebook Networking Challenge that just ended. Of course, you didn't need to have participated to benefit from this, and anything about the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program. Are you ready? Give me a nod, a yes. Are we ready to do this? Okay, I got some yeses. Fantastic. All right. So let me share with you. Let's roll. Exactly. Enough, Kathryn. Quit just talking. I love it. So let me share with you how the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program was birthed and why it was birthed and why I am so excited about it. And that's gotten me back into doing the Facebook networking challenge and having these kind of conversations with folks. Before COVID struck, with my business, I was looking to either find speaking opportunities or to create them and do my own events. I had decided that the impact that I wanted to make was to inspire 1 million women entrepreneurs to be intentional about the stories they tell themselves so that they could attract clients and grow the businesses that they love. 1 million women entrepreneurs to be intentional about the stories they tell themselves. And I had thought I wanted speaking gigs and events and other opportunities to get this message out. It was a big vision, a big impact I was going to make. Then COVID hit. And I realized, well, I can't go out into the world and speak and do events. And I returned to Facebook, which, if those of you who don't know me, I spent most of the last 10 years attracting clients from Facebook until about a year ago when I started going out into the world. And I sold hundreds of programs. I grew a Facebook business page to close to 90,000 followers. And I just looked, over 50% of my current clients have come from Facebook. And that's with a large part of last year being going out into the world. So now that I'm intentional, I'm guessing that number is going to go up to 70 or 80%. So what happened was, though, I had this big impact and I wasn't doing this impact I wanted to make. COVID struck. I moved back to Facebook and I wasn't doing anything to really inspire 1 million women entrepreneurs to be intentional about the stories they told themselves. So I decided to talk with what I call my future on purpose self. I believe we all have a future on purpose self. That is the part of you who in the future is fully doing what you are here to do. Without constraint, wholeheartedly, she is fulfilling your purpose. She is doing it. Now, I have a future on purpose self, and I think you do too. And so I go on guided journey. Well, I go on journeys inside myself, and I take my clients on guided journeys. But I went on an inner journey to talk with her, and I said to her, to my future Kathryn, future on purpose self, I said, "So Kathryn, what are you doing? How did you to make this impact? How did you make this impact?" Because I wanted to figure out what I needed to do to make this impact of inspiring 1 million women entrepreneurs to be intentional about the stories they tell themselves. And she says to me, "I didn't do that." And I sit there and I'm like, "What? But I think that's the impact I want to make." And so I said, "Well, what is the impact that you're making or that you made?" And she said, "I inspire and teach women entrepreneurs to be the fullest expression of themselves." And my whole being, when she said this to me, just opened up. I was like, yes, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to inspire and teach women entrepreneurs to be the fullest expression of themselves, because when we be the fullest expression of ourselves, we unlock our purpose. Our vibration shines out into the world. Our light is unleashed and we attract to us anyone who is vibrating in alignment with that. Does that make sense? Thank you. Thank you for those nods. I really appreciate that. So for those of you who don't know, and Jenna, I know, knows me from way back when, I went to graduate school to get a degree in dance. I became a dance movement therapist. I had an aha moment in my early 20s that what we all need to do to be the healthiest us that we can be is to integrate our body with what we're feeling, with what we're thinking, and with what we're doing in the world. And I was on a mission for at least the next 20 years to figure out how to share this with people. How do I get this out? And that's why I became a dance movement therapist. And then as I grew my practice as a dance movement therapist, I had to learn about marketing and manifestation. And along the way, I discovered, oh my goodness, I actually prefer working with entrepreneurs, heart-braced, on-purpose solopreneurs and small business owners. And I don't really like doing the healing work that I was doing as a dance movement therapist. So I shifted my focus. But when this last fall, or late summer last fall, my future on purpose self said to me, Kathryn, you're here to teach and inspire women entrepreneurs to be the fullest expression of myself. I thought, OMG, this integrates my mission that I had from back in my early 20s. I get to bring that into the work that I'm doing. How exciting is this? So for the next week or so, I thought to myself, well, how do I do this? And I had my practical hat on because I do actually really love thinking about marketing and business models and those different kinds of things. And I thought, how do I do this? And within about a week, I would say, the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program was born, or conceived at least. It was conceived because pretty much most, I want to say all, but I would probably more true is almost all the on-purpose solopreneurs and small business owners that I know want to be seen more on Facebook, want to unleash their light on Facebook. And so this idea of providing some sort of a program that would include integrating marketing, Facebook skills that I had learned and developed over the last 10 years with this whole thing of unleashing your light and being the fullest expression of yourself, I'm like, oh my goodness, I am so in for this. So my friends, I love using Facebook as a tool to attract clients. I love it because my ideal clients are on Facebook. I work with coaches, energy workers, healers, and other on-purpose solopreneurs and small business owners who feel called to do what they do and want to attract clients from Facebook. I do other things with my clients, but I wanted to share that with you. The commonality of my clients in general is that they're called to do what they do and they want to fulfill their purpose through a business and they want to attract clients from Facebook. There are billions of people on Facebook. Do y'all know that? Billions. Nod your head, say yes. You know that there are billions of people daily on Facebook, billions of people. So I just need about 30 to 100 at the most every year of those people who my light reaches, and I've got a thriving business. And I'm going to guess that, I mean, the numbers may vary. Maybe for you it's hundreds, maybe for you it's 10. I don't know. But we just need to reach a small percentage of those people, of those billions, and they're on there. So I love Facebook, and I also love working with people from around the globe. I love working online, and that's why I'm committed to attracting clients on Facebook. So as we continue to move forward, I'm going to keep asking you, why do you want to attract clients from Facebook? What I'm going to share with you next is the Facebook marketing funnel. And as I said before, to work it takes time, energy, effort, and intention. Are you ready to hear about the Facebook marketing funnel? Nod your head. Okay, y'all are doing great. I love it. I think y'all are great. Thanks for the yes, Pam. This is great. I really encourage people to interact with me because it makes it fun for all of us. Would you agree? This is where you get to nod your head again. Would you? Right. It's fun for all of us. And so if you want to type other stuff in the chat, feel free to do that. But sometimes it can also get distracting. So we might want to just wait till I ask you questions. But anyway, moving on. Facebook marketing funnel. So do you see this funnel? I just want to see my picture. Here it is, funnel. All right. If you can't see it and I'm pointing to it, go like this because I kind of cover myself up when I'm looking at my notes. And so, but I can see some of you. So just go, can't see it if I'm pointing to it. All right. But here's the funnel. Does everybody remember these kind of funnels bigger ones we used to use to put oil in our cars way back when for us older people. And I remember doing that, the oil in the car. Now, who knows what they put in cars? I don't quite know what's going on with the cars these days. But anyhow, the funnel. So the idea here is at the top is the most people. So, and outside of here, outside of the funnel are the billions of people on Facebook. We want to go out into Facebook world and help those strangers who are out there who are potential clients find out that we exist. And when we do that, they come into the funnel. So all of the strangers that we meet out when we network on Facebook. So I'm going to propose that that level is networking on Facebook. We go out there and then we reach through the Facebook groups this top layer of people in our funnel. These are the potential strangers who exist in the networking groups that we go to, or the Facebook groups where we go and we network. All right. And then what happens is if we do what I suggested in the networking challenge, which is we tell them about a next step. And if we tell them about our Facebook group, which is the funnel in the middle, and we invite them to it, if those people are interested. So for example, my ideal clients, as I said, are coaches, energy workers, healing arts practitioners, etc., who want to look to the future with positive expectation. If I say that in a group and say, here's the link to the Moving Sidewalk Movement group, people who like me because of what I've been doing in the networking are going to join my group. Does that make sense? So they come down into the funnel in this middle part. Now here is where you're going to nurture your people in your Facebook group. You've got to do good in your Facebook group. You got to have an engaging group. That's the middle part of the funnel. And then I suggest on average, every 10 posts or so, you can give them an offer. It can be a free offer, or it can be a low cost offer that moves them further along to potentially off of Facebook. We are off of Facebook right now. Many of y'all came from the challenge. Those of you who are either watching this with me, doing it with me live, or watching the replay. Some of you, like Jenna, who I keep talking to, I've just known forever, it seems like. Yeah, and came from real world, but you get what I'm saying. And so if you do an offer, then they're down here in the lower part of the funnel, and you share with them the next thing. Like for me, I'm sharing with y'all the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program. Those of you who say yes and sign up come down to this bowl of my clients. So you drop through the funnel and you get into my bowl and you are now my client. And so that's how that works. Okay. I'm going to invite you, if anybody has a question, I'll take one or two questions. Does this funnel make sense? Does anybody have a question about that funnel? As you're thinking and potentially unmuting yourself, the first thing you do is network in Facebook groups. The second thing you do is move people. Thank you, Pam, makes sense. Move people into your Facebook group, do a good group, and then do an offer every 10 or so and have them become a client. Dora, did you want to ask something?
Yeah. Okay, so when you're in the top of the rim, when you're in the billions of people and you're trying to find the people that are like seeing you on Facebook and first get them there, how that seems to be like one of the steps that I'm lost in, and that I think I'm not attracting the right people into the funnel. What suggestions do you have for that step?
Okay, so that's where you go into your 3 to 5 Facebook groups a week.
Okay, and engage and just start those conversations.
Exactly. So that's what you're doing. You find your 3 to 5 groups, you go into them, and that's where you're networking with them there. From there, you're going to invite them down because they're there. People are in Facebook groups. All right. Good. Good question. Anybody else have a question? Unmute yourself and ask. And then we're going to go on a guided journey. Okay, Kathy. So the middle section is to move people into your group with an offer. So your business page is not a group, right? So it used to be that business pages were the thing to do on Facebook. They are no longer, in my opinion, the thing to do. They're useful, in my opinion, as like a standalone almost like a web page that people could go to and maybe get the link to your web page, something like that, and the link to your group. Groups are where it's at in terms of the algorithms, because that's just how Facebook is built right now. That may change in 6 months. Right now, if you grow a group, you can get traction. So you don't have to do an offer to get people into your group. You just have to be clear who the group is for. And then when you're out there networking, you tell people that this group is for such and such kind of person, and then you have to run your group well. Again, the scope of this webinar is not to teach you how to run your group well, or even to help you clarify who your ideal clients are. So if you don't know who your ideal clients are, that's a decision you're going to have to make. Learning how to run a Facebook group well, I can help you do that in the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program. There's some different things and techniques that I teach people how to do. I think I'm very good at running Facebook groups. I've had over 10 over the years, and I've gotten to where I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm an excellent Facebook group runner, leader, facilitator. So, okay, I hope that makes sense. Is this something to change in settings? No, you cannot change a business page to a group. You have to create your own group. All right. So again, I don't teach people the specific things here. If you needed hand-holding with it, we can do it in a private session, which also comes with the program if you were interested, Kathy. Okay. Or you just search. You know, most of these things you can search, Google search, how do I create a Facebook group, or search on Facebook, how do I start a Facebook group? So it's pretty self-explanatory once you know where to, know to just ask on the search bar. Okay, good questions. All right, y'all. So,
Kathryn,
yes.
I'm sorry, I have a quick question. That's okay. Do you recommend networking with a personal Facebook page or that business Facebook page or group page that one may have already set up or going to be set up?
Okay.
How do you recommend networking?
Okay, so
in other
that's
Facebook groups.
That's an excellent question. So when you go into Facebook groups, some groups will give you the opportunity to join as your personal page or as your business page. As far as I know, you do not ever have an option to join as your group unless something new has happened that I haven't seen. For my groups, I only let people join as their personal self because I want people to actually network as people. In groups where you can join as your business page, if that's what a lot of people do, and sometimes it's hard to know if you haven't joined yet, but if that's what people are doing and that's the norm, and your business page has your name in it, then great. If your business page doesn't have your name in it, by all means, join as your personal self, no matter what, and possibly change the name of your business page. We want people, those of us who are solopreneurs, you're selling you for the most part. You are selling you. So, I mean, as I said, this is kind of cookie cutter, so it may be different for each person. But in general, I personally join as me because I want people to come to know, like, and trust me. I've set up my personal page where there's a link to my group and there's a link to my business page. If someone meets me and they go to my personal page to check me out, there are those links plus the link to my website. So I encourage you to make sure those links are all on your personal page if you are networking in Facebook groups as you. Please, please, please do that. So ultimately, it's your decision, but those are my opinions. Does that help?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome, Joyce. You know, it's so funny. After all these years on Facebook, I do feel like this sort of Facebook expert. But the truth is, what I really care about is I want you to unleash your light on Facebook. I want you to shine on Facebook. So that's what I'm really up to. But the technical stuff, we all want answers to it. So I get it. Okay. All right, ladies. We're going to do a guided journey now. All right. And if you do not have a Facebook group, I'm just going to assume that everybody here has been in a Facebook group and you have a sense of what they're like. If not, just make it up in your head, because what I'm going to do is guide you, just a short little thing, because I think it's always useful to go inward. And imagine having a great Facebook group and imagine what that feels like. So let's get comfortable. Before you do that, make sure that you're muted. And then get comfortable. Oh, take a deep breath with me. Feeling the breath move your belly, chest, and back. Feel your whole body relax with the next exhale. Feel your feet connected to the earth as you breathe. And relax your mind, letting it open to images as I say words, and let whatever experience you have be what it is. And with this breath, I want you to bring your awareness to what I call Facebook world, the world of Facebook with all of those billions of people, all of those pages, all of those groups, all of those posts, all of those videos, all of those links, Facebook world, so many things. And I invite you to imagine either your Facebook group that you have or the Facebook group that you could have in the future. And as you think of your Facebook group, I want you to imagine it in the future, imagining that in the future, it is a great group. And as you imagine that your Facebook group is a great group, just feel and sense and tune into how your Facebook group feels to you. As you feel your group being all that it could possibly be, this great Facebook group, become aware of you posting in it consistently. Become aware of members in the group engaging with you and maybe with each other so there's energy and movement in the group and people are involved. And imagine if you want to do Facebook Live videos, imagine that you do them and people engage with you and you are being the fullest expression of yourself. So as you feel and sense that your group is just great, imagine that you consistently grow your group so it grows. See it get bigger and bigger every week. Imagine and sense that you're out there networking in other groups or doing something else so that new members join your group every week. If you imagine feeling really good about your group, just become aware of what you're doing in it and what's happening in your group. Imagine that when you post a low-cost offer, or maybe a free consultation, that people either sign up for it or buy it because they like you, know you, and trust you, and want to take that next step with you. And imagine that many of them move on and take that next step with you and become full paying clients, whatever that means for you. And now, as you see this wonderful group that you're leading, imagine that you have a thriving business because of your Facebook group. And now take a deep breath, noticing and remembering each of the images, thoughts, and feelings that came to you on this short guided journey. And when you're ready, open your eyes and just share something in the chat with us about what you experienced, if you're willing, or write down for yourself anything that you want to remember. So Shelley experienced vibrancy, and I'm just going to read these things because I don't know if the people who watch the replay will see them. Hmm. Kathy, feels like family. Yes. Cool feeling. Jenna, lots of luminosity and vibrancy. Also wondering an average maximum size for a Facebook group. Great question. I love the luminosity and vibrancy. And it used to be that Facebook groups were limited in size. They no longer are. I'm in a group with over 100,000 people. I don't have one, but I'm in a group. So it's possible to grow them. So as you imagine your group, I invite you to imagine the potential size, and you can get into different groups and see how the different sizes feel, because a group of 100 or less people has a certain feeling, 500 or less, 1,000 or less, 10,000 or less. They each have different feelings and different qualities of interaction. So it's something to explore. Okay, I don't know if there's any other comments coming or not. I'm going to Jenna, how to find some sample Facebook groups to experience. Well, you can certainly experience my groups, and I'll answer that in just a second. I want to read Dora's. So you experienced, Dora, a huge fan club in your author group, engaging in discussion about the scenes and characters and asking you questions. That's very fun. Lots of energy and excitement. Cool. Okay. So Jenna, you can join the On Purpose Woman Global Community, which has 6,000 members. You can join My Moving Sidewalk Movement, which has around 250 members. In terms of the groups with over 10,000 or 100,000. If you Facebook message me, I'll share the link to the group with over 100,000. Okay. All right. So we just have a few more things that I want to share with you, which are the ingredients or skills you need to be able to develop this Facebook marketing funnel that this is a metaphor for, or that's probably not the right word, it's a symbol for. And so I want to share those with you. And then I'm going to tell you about the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program. And then y'all are going to get a chance to introduce yourself. All right. So The three ingredients or skills that I believe we all need to develop in order to do this marketing funnel, which is go out and network, grow a thriving group, and move people down our funnel with offers into being clients. One is to know how to use the tools available to us in Facebook. The second is to create what I call a Light Unleashed plan, which is develop a plan where you integrate your overall business plans with your marketing on Facebook. And the third skill is to unleash your light on Facebook. All right. So let me just share a few of those things in each of these categories. And all three of these skills are what you can learn or practice in the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program. So the different Facebook tools that you can learn or practice with me are, and there may be some more, but here are a few. Writing text posts in a way that call people to read them and engage with you. Using backgrounds on your text posts, asking questions to increase engagement, doing Facebook Live videos, creating images on Canva and posting them on Facebook, and then setting up and running your group. And I want to share with you that in the current program, I started the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program that's running right now on November 1st. And the people who have fully participated, they've all been blossoming in different ways. And one of the participants started a new Facebook group, and it now has 124 members. I know, so it's really great from her actions and participation. And I want to share her testimonial just real quick. As a result of doing the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program, I have a clearer plan for getting the word out about my business on Facebook. And I have a new great support group of awesome ladies because they're getting to know each other. They all got to know each other and feel way more comfortable networking daily on social media. I would recommend this program to anyone needing to learn more about marketing and networking on Facebook. I wanted to share that with you. Okay, the second skill or ingredient that I think we all need to develop is the capacity to make a plan, and I call it the Light Unleashed plan, a marketing plan about what you're doing on Facebook that integrates with your overall business plan and overall business goals and marketing goals. So that's something that I do with people who do this program in one-on-one sessions. And the first skill, the program includes 12 modules and one for each week where you get to develop the different skills and go out and practice them on Facebook. But working with people around their plan, I like to do that one-on-one because, as I said, even though I'm providing you with what could be called a cookie cutter approach, we all have different businesses, and it's really helpful to actually talk with somebody about your business so that you can create a plan that works for you and you get the results that you want. The third skill is to unleash your light on Facebook, which is about being the fullest expression of yourself, being authentic. I know I got several comments during this challenge in response to my videos. At least 2 or 3 people spoke about how authentic I am. And that's because way back when I started integrating my body, what's happening at a body level, with my emotions, with my head, and with what I do in the world. So who I am comes through all that I do. I want to support all of my clients to the extent to which they want that support, to also being able to do that. The program includes embodied exercises that can support you in doing that. And so that you can be authentic, be seen, and be heard, I want you to unleash your light on Facebook. So those are the 3 ingredients or skills that I think we all need to develop, whether you do the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program or not. I wanted to share them with you. So my friends, any questions about that before I show you on my screen the page that has information about the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program? No questions? Do I have your permission? I don't want to not share information about the program if nobody wants to. Oh, we do have a question. How often will I be running this program? Probably twice a year, at the most 3 times a year. So this one's going to start on March 8th. The next time, may be, it will definitely be by next fall. It might be August, but it'll probably be September or October. So if I would recommend, Joyce, I think that it would be good for you now. I'm just saying, if you can do it. Yes, Dora.
So if you were using your funnel as a symbol, where on the funnel is like we're working with you, the area that we'd be working on?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it. Part of one of the modules is networking and Facebook groups. So and that goes very early on, which you've already learned how to do, but you're gonna commit to it there, and you're gonna be practicing it throughout the whole program. We're gonna be looking at what you do in your Facebook groups and what you do out in the world, so that your Facebook group can be all that you want it to be, and people will come into your group. And in the when we do the private sessions, that will be where we integrate it all, and so that what you're doing is working for you.
Okay, now one other question. If you're doing the program and you're someone like me that's not so tech savvy, do you have people that you work with that you recommend? Like, for example, when you're in the section of let's say setting up your group or trying to get more engagement in the group, do you would specifically, for example, tell me how to do it, you would do it, or you could recommend somebody that could take me on that part of that journey to make that happen?
So I'm going to help you come up with the plan. I'm going to help you be able to do it. And if you need to hire somebody else, the three of us would work together to do it in a way that works for you, because it's got to be your voice happening in the group.
Mhm.
So it is possible in some way, in some places, to hire somebody. And I do know somebody who we could bring in that you could hire, but we would work together to make sure what you're doing in the Facebook group actually fits your business and your business model.
Oh, okay.
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 All right.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So do I have your permission to share with you a little bit about this? It'll just take a few minutes. The program. Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen. Thank you, y'all. I love that. Now, if you go to my website, I'm going to just tell you how to get to it. If you go to my website, which is manifestingclientsacademy.com, and you click services, you're going to see down here, Unleash Your Light on Facebook. And I have not yet set up a unique URL for it, but I have it on my agenda in my mind. The agenda in my mind is to set up unleashyourlight.com, but it's not there yet. So this is how you can get to it. I will also just copy it and put it in there for those of you who are with me now. As soon as we get back and I stop sharing, I'll put it in the chat. So here's the page. This is what you're going to get. It's going to start on March 8th. You get to discover how your ideal clients can find you. You can attract clients from around the globe. You will discover how to love being the fullest expression of yourself on Facebook. And the program is a combination of personal and business growth. So it's not just business growth. It's really about you also developing yourself. So if you are a person who's been holding herself back on Facebook and you've been playing small, which I know that might be some of you, and I know that's not all of you, but if you are, then through this process, you will expand. I had one person who, prior to starting at this time that's happening now, she hardly did anything on Facebook, and she has just like blossomed. She's out there posting and she's commenting and she's on Facebook now. So that can happen. And if you are showing up on Facebook but not attracting clients, we will work to make that actually work for you. So what you're doing on Facebook will work. What happens is that the program happens in a secret Facebook group. It is self-directed. In other words, you're going to get into the group, and each week I'm going to put up the modules, and you're going to have to go into the group. And the first week or two, I'm going to be sending you reminders to get you in there, to make sure you know to go there. And I'm going to be talking to you to get you in there. But you need to go there and do the modules. And each module will take about 2 hours, but they include things like embodied exercise to unleash your light. You're going to get to practice writing posts and doing Facebook Lives so that you feel confident doing both of those things, or more confident and better. There's a whole section on developing your content that kind of bamboozled everybody who's in the program right now. So I'm looking at how to break that down and make it function better for everybody who does it the next time, just so you know. It may be an extra thing that you could work on, but it will be there for you. And you will find places to, or create places on Facebook to post, network, and do Facebook Lives if you decide that's what you want to do. And you will clarify that next step of, how you're moving people through your funnel. What's the next step off of Facebook for your ideal clients? And you'll get support and encouragement for all of this, to create the Canva images, to write posts, to do Facebook videos, and you'll get support in loving yourself if any buttons get triggered, because Facebook is this great personal growth opportunity. So if putting yourself out there pushes buttons, we will explore that together and you will get to support yourself. Here's a couple of testimonials of people who love me. It's so nice to be loved. Y'all agree? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So the Unleash Your Light on Facebook 12-week program, as I said, it has 12 modules that happen in the secret Facebook group that take about 2 hours to complete. You may also want to include in your time that Facebook networking time we talked about in the networking challenge being 3 to 5 times a week for 15 to 30 minutes tea time. And so in addition to approximately 2 hours, some weeks are less for doing the assignments, you may also need to have that time as well. So it's not, it does take a little bit of time. It's not time consuming, but you will come out on the other side feeling awesome about it. So you'll get feedback on your posts and images and Facebook Lives so that your light shines through. I want to support you in really being who you're here to be, and I'm gonna give you the feedback that will help you know yourself better and do that in a way that you just shine. So there's exercises, there's 3 private sessions with me to craft your Light Unleashed plan. And here's the really cool thing, y'all. If you complete the program by June 15th, you get 3 months of a Light Unleashed membership in the Women Loving Life group. So let me say what I mean by this. You're going to get a checklist for each module. If you complete 80% or more of those checklists by June 15th, you can get a 3-month membership, Light Unleashed membership in the Women Loving Life group. If you're not in that group, please join it. It's Women Loving Life. It's a lovely group. You can post in it now. You can ask questions, but you cannot put promotional stuff in there. Like, for example, Dora, you can't post about your book in there now. But if you were a Light Unleashed member, you could. As a Light Unleashed member, you get over 3 months, you get 9 posts that can be promotional. They can be a Facebook Live, they can be a link. You could do 3 each month or 9 in 3 weeks if that's worked for you because you were doing some sort of a launch. But in addition, I would encourage you to be in there on a regular basis, engaging with people. If you haven't joined it, it's a group that I started a few months ago. It's grown to over 650, I think it's around 650 members. They're all women. It's a lovely, good feeling group. I don't want a lot of promotional stuff, so I'm limiting the number of promotional posts so that the group stays great and juicy so that people will see your promotional posts. So it's a great benefit, and you'll be able to get people. You can post your link to your Facebook group in there that way. So just want you to know. And there are 2 Q&A Zoom calls that are optional, which will be on Zoom, as I said. And if you can't make them, that's okay. I'll be recording them because everything else is where it's all going to be happening. But on the Zoom calls, you can connect with the other members through Zoom and me and ask your questions. And because this program isn't starting till March 8th and y'all are here today, I am giving you a fast acting bonus that if you sign up before February 8th, you get a Facebook consultation with me, a 45-minute Facebook consultation with me so that we can move you forward in getting ready for this program and looking at what you're doing now and what you could do better. So I'm excited to share that with you. So the program is going to be $997. It may even after a year or two go up from there. Right now, if you register early, it's $797. It may stay $797 for this entire for the March 8th one. I haven't decided if I'm going to go up to $997 this time. So I hate to be wishy-washy about it, but I can promise you that this fast acting bonus only lasts till February 8th. So I encourage you to jump in to get that. And if one payment of $797 is too much for you, I have a 6 monthly payment option of $139, and I have a 100% refund policy. If you fully participate, if you do all your checklists and turn them in, if you don't get anything out of this program, you don't get anything, I'll give you your money back if you let me know by June 15th. But you have to get nothing out of it and have to have done the whole thing. So the likelihood of that happening is slim to none, but I wanted to let you know that that's an option. Okay, any questions about this before? Well, I'm going to stop the share. I can restart it. Any questions about that program? No questions. Okay, this is what we're going to do now. We have 5 minutes. I want each of you to introduce yourself. Okay, I want you to say your name, one sentence, your name, your location, one sentence of what you do. Some of you already know each other from the networking challenge, one sentence of what you do. And then if you have a question, go ahead and let's not do that because we have 5 minutes left here. If you have a question, I'll come back at the end for it. All right. So, Dora, you start.
Hi, I'm a retired dentist, Dr. Dora Vilk Shapiro, but many of you will know me as author Doris Vilk, and I wrote a trilogy of books, and they all follow the same actress and characters. This is the second book, which can be read as a standalone. But the first book is Love Arrested. This is the second book, Love Attempted. The third book is Love Avenged. And they're naughty and saucy. And if it was a TV show, it would say adult language, violence, nudity, sexual content. So it's not for the shy at heart. And if that's not you, give it as a gift.
Thank you, Dora. All right. So just to be clear, thank you. That was great. Dora's awesome. Her books are wonderful. Get her books if you want a little fun in your life. But if y'all can keep it at like one sentence, that would be awesome. Okay, Jan.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Oh, good. He's shaking my head. Yeah, I need to get going, but I'm a brand new person to Facebook. I came screaming and kicking. I'm in real estate, and I had to kind of do my own business after 8 years being with a broker, and he closed the brokerage. And I have been inundated with trying to learn how the marketing, all the social media. So this has just been a very good exposure. Plus, I certainly follow a lot of, things that you've talked about. So it's been a wonderful experience, but I am a brand newbie and I will keep moving forward. And I thank you.
Sounds
Thank
good,
you
Jan.
all.
Great. All right. Shelley.
Hi, I'm Shelley O'Connell. I'm a life coach. I help women learn how to flirt so they can open up to fun and life and engagement and see where that leads them.
Excellent. Yay. And this is how we clap, y'all. Way to do it in like one sentence or so. Jenna.
Hello, I'm Jenna Wexler. I serve as a minister in a non-denominational interfaith tradition, and I'm in transition at the moment, considering other things in life that are free and not so structured. And so I'm exploring how I might support that as I go forward.
Excellent. Glad to see you. As you know,
Thank you.
Chris Hartstein, whatever.
I'm Chris Hartstein, and currently I'm a volunteer with a couple of nonprofits that teach and share nonviolent communication. It's a passion of mine, and I created an adorable doll and wrote a children's book, which ironically is really what Kathryn's all about, aligning our bodies and our hearts and what's underneath with our thinking and our actions.
Oh, how cool. Wonderful. Thank you, Chris. Julie, Rose, can you put your thing down so we can see you? And yes, there we go.
Okay, there I am. Yes, I had to get a different chair. That stool was getting hard. Yes, I work with people to help them become the best they can be, one point at a time. I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I use color, light sessions, Tai Chi, Qigong, and wellness coaching. I also work with a company that uses supplements that are compounded like homeopathic. They're not traditional homeopathics, but they're compounded that way. They're very wonderful. So I am there all the time. Thank you.
Excellent. Good, good, good. All right, Joyce. I
Hi,
keep forgetting.
everybody. I'm
Sorry.
Joyce from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a certified health and life coach, and I help women in their 50s and beyond create their best midlife, solve their problems with weight, increase their energy, and transform other habits to live a much faster life.
Yay. Awesome. Sharona.
Hi, Sharona. Excuse me, I'm Sharona, and I live in Rockville, Maryland. And I work with a biotech company that actually is working with a science called redox signaling molecules. The science is redox, and there are quite a few different redox molecules. And the one we have already is the signaling one, and it helps just about anything, but it helps the body work better. So I'm looking for influential people to get the word out about this. Thank you.
You, Sharona. Okay. And y'all, I acknowledge that it's 1 minute after 3. If you have to leave, I completely apologize. I'm going to hang out here, and I'd love for you to leave to hear everybody. But if you have a question, I'll be here. Pam.
Hi, Kathryn. Hi, ladies. My name is Pam O'Neill. I live in Parrish, Florida. It's cold here today. Don't laugh at me. It really is. I have 2 businesses. One is accounting, bookkeeping, human resources consulting business that I am trying to wind down. And the other is an online coffee and tea business.
And Pam's one of those people who I've known since I think before Jenna. So yeah, very
Long
cool.
time.
Very cool. Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy, and I'm an intuitive medium and an angel communicator and an ET experiencer. And so I've been teaching classes and connecting people with angels and ET light beings, I call them, since 2013, although my experiences have gone back way beyond that as a child. So right now I'm in the middle of trying to figure out how to convert my in-person retreats that I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 years into doing virtual retreats. That's my big challenge.
I hear you, friend. Yep. Yeah, it takes a little shifting to go to online. Cool. Okay. Well, welcome everybody even though this is the end. I'm so glad you all joined me. And this was fantastic for me. Does anybody have a question? And if you want to say something, but you don't have a question, you have to leave, feel free to type in the chat. And that's fine too. But raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll see who has something if you do. No questions. Sharona has a question.
I do have a question. Do you do one-on-ones to just, I need to figure out who my client is? I've been stuck. I'm feeling stuck. It's like keep moving from one thing to another.
Sure. Yes, I do. But a smallest package I sell that makes any sense is a 3-session package, because individual sessions are $300. A 3-session package is $450. So if you want that, just send me a link. I'll
Okay.
send it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. Okay, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to stop the